Okay, now we're going to show you how to set up the portable weather stations. Let's first get all our equipment organized from the weather stations. Go into the container and grab the large black bag that says Met Tower. That's where all your hardware parts will be. Okay? I'd suggest also you put down a tarp underneath you. We don't have it here, we're on nice brick, but that way you won't lose any parts. But the tailgate is nice and it allows the pole to be held kind of in one place. Let's start building the weather stations. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to install the eye bolts. Okay, on there solidly. Next thing I do is take the weather station itself, taking the anemometer in my hand as well because they are connected. Just be a little careful with these. Pipe clamp fitting and slide first the precipitation gauge over the pipe. The radio is going to fit over the top of those screws, just slides on with a little key slot, the antenna facing up, and just hangs on like that. Okay? We want this to be facing south. This is the solar panel. So our weather station is going to be set up such that that's to the south. Okay? I'm going to take it off for now because I don't really need it on there right away. Set it down. Next thing to do is to put the anemometer on. Okay, the anemometer we want facing north. So again, I may have to open up the nuts on the pipe clamp, slide it over the pipe, and set it so that the anemometer, the top of this black plastic, is just about even with the top of the pole. And just by hand, move my anemometer so that it's facing north and my radio is facing south. And this is the most fragile part, so perhaps we want to put that on last. Okay, now we're going to walk over and set the weather station up. I've just set it down. Just be gentle with it. It's fragile, but you know, it's not that fragile. Take the plate, set the plate where you want your weather station to be. Place the pole into the stand. Should slide in. The anemometer to the north. I lay each of the guy wires out in the direction they need to be. Okay, so you can see one goes out this way, the others are going out to the, what would then be to the east, and the other is a little bit to the southwest. If you don't have an assistant, disconnect the hooks, set the weather station down, gently, and now go to where the ends of the guy wires are, and that's where you would put in your stakes. Now collect your guy wires. You want to have the part that you can pull tight, okay, the little ratchet, that has to go up toward the weather station. Reach down, grab one of your hooks, hook it on. While still holding the pole, go over, get the next one, and walk around and get the third one. Still holding onto the pole. This is the one-person way to do this. Okay, now just let's get it generally tightened up. Pull the ratchets. We're going to adjust it later to make it nice and square, but right now, get it tightened up so that your pole is pretty square. So now we're just going to open up the rain gauge and remove the transport zip tie so that the tipping bucket can actually work. Grab a hold of the tipping bucket cover, twist it to the right, and pick it up. Just come up, take your wire cutters, cut that, and remove it. And now the tipping bucket can tip. Slide it, rotate it around until it drops into the slots, and then give it just a twist, just a 1/4 inch, that locks it in place. And for you to level it, the easiest way is just to pull the guy wires tight, and you can move the tower left, right, and around. The next thing, let's hook up the radio. I've got the radio in my hand. You can see it has the holes for the screws. It just slides over those. and sits down. Okay, make sure your weather station is well secured to the ground. We just had it fall over. All right, now we're going to connect up the sensors. Each of the weather station and the soil moisture sensors have a small black connector, and they connect up to the bottom of the radio. On the bottom of the radio has 4 ports, numbered 1 through 4. The weather station head, which usually has a green tag on it, goes into port number 1. Push in, twist, now it's locked. Next is the soil moisture sensors. They go into ports 2 and 3, and they connect the same way. Push up, twist, about a quarter turn to a half turn, give it a pull, it's solid. Give yourself a little slack so there's never any tension transmitted to the radio. Tie it up.